Oh, oh, that is quality right there. That's quality production. Let me tell you, the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk. You're gonna see it get a whole lot better here because welcome to the show. Welcome to the last live streaming show. Thank you, Facebook. Thanks, Mark Zuckerberg. Thanks, all you pedantic, what we call snowflakes. Yeah, snowflake assholes who set your community standards on wuss.
I'm looking up pedantic right now.
Pedantic.
Yeah, I'm looking that up right now.
Yeah. So, I thank you because you inspired me to go elsewhere. So, welcome to the show, our last live streaming show. Then from now on, you will be getting the link. You will be getting it posted on. You will be seeing a way for you to get the show. We will record the show at 5:30, 6 o'clock. We're going to record it ahead of time, and we're going to drop it in time enough for you to see it before we get to the Thursday night football game, so that and we'll give you that intel on Thursday night football right up front, so that you don't miss out on the opportunity. But yeah, it's kind of easier. I mean, we're good at putting this together on a live stream basis. So I'm really not going to have to edit much. I'm going to put the front and the rear banners in, put the little hashtags on, and we're off to the races. But thanks Facebook. Thank you. Thank you for forcing me away from a useless exercise. There's going to be more content creation, because I have been studying how to create content, not only for real estate, but I'm going to do it for this show as well. So seated next to me, in front of our resplendent background.
Digging it.
You like it? It's a good logo, right?
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a little bit of Iron Man kind of thing. It has an Iron Man kind of look to it. It kind of looks like his little symbol on his chest, that little Iron Man, the strength. It just looks strong.
Oh, okay. You'll see me look like we've had to put the camera extraordinarily close because there's one setting that I have not been able to figure out, and that's how to get the frame rate higher, because we have a high frame rate. We have a super HD camera, but
we have a big head rate. I think that's probably
well, I mean, all the glare. Look, see, you lose me every once in a while if I move too fast.
There's probably a limit on dome size, and we've reached it for sure.
Yeah,
you can introduce me again if you want to.
Matt. Well, if you keep moving around.
Hi.
See, now you're gone. Now you're back.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How's everybody going? Hey.
Not bad. Matty Damaz Masaracchio, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, it's for me. There's a football game tonight. Can you believe it?
It's Happy Football Day.
Wow. It is here.
Happy Football Day. Honestly, the two bookend games of the NFL are the 2 days that you want to wear special clothes and hats and maybe put up a tree, have friends over to celebrate. And that's Super Bowl and the Hall of Fame game. Okay. And sometimes the Hall of Fame game is more exciting than the Super Bowl. Not this past Super Bowl. This past Super Bowl is pretty exciting.
Yeah. Well, tonight's Hall of Fame game is Panthers-Cardinals. So
yes.
Where are you looking for excitement tonight?
Well, okay. First of all, our two starting quarterbacks are Carson Beck for the Cardinals, rookie, former University of Miami Hurricane, former Georgia Bulldog.
Heisman candidate.
A guy who I told everybody who would listen, he is the most pro-ready quarterback that came out of this draft. Everybody was all happy about everybody else. Oh yeah, well, guess what?
Well, wasn't he like an 11th year senior? I mean, didn't he play for?
He's got a mortgage. He's got two kids.
God,
he's got insurance. He's got to pay for it.
Was Tannehill 26 when they drafted him?
No, 25. Yeah, he was up there.
How old is Beck?
Beck is got to be like 25. 25, I think. He's 24, 25.
Wow.
Playing big time football for a long time. I mean, let's remember he was at Georgia for 3 years and played in 2 national championship games.
Played a lot of college football.
And a third one in Miami.
Yeah.
So Carson Beck's and he has been lighting it up. I mean, he's lighting up the Arizona Cardinals, which are probably in a worse personnel situation than my Dolphins. But they got a lot of running backs.
They do have a lot of running
They
backs.
got a shitload of running backs.
Yeah.
So, and we'll probably see everybody but Connor. Connor, I don't think he should have to play. I think you should keep him in bubble wrap till the beginning of the season.
Yeah, he's sort of on the back end of things.
And that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, all right, listen. The important part of today is that it's here. Okay.
Right.
It's preseason. It's game 1.
You keep disappearing.
Oh, here I am. I'm back. Yeah, it's game 1.
He's Italian. He talks with his hands. And then
I'm waving stuff away from me. I mean, granted, what do the starters typically play? A couple of series, if that.
Kenny Pickett, a guy who's got wins in this league, got starts in this league.
Yeah, but he is going to be a forever backup. I mean, listen, it's important for the teams to get this thing started. These guys want to get in pads. Most of these teams have only been in pads for a couple of days. So now the fact that they're out there actually hitting one another, you want to see clean game. You want to see the injuries.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously there's some evaluation to be done, but it's for me, the significance of tonight is that the clock is turned. The pages are turned, and it's football time. So
it is time. We should have like hats and like noisemakers and horns and Happy New Year.
All those.
Happy New Year.
All those. Yep. So again, but our focus, what we're going to be primarily talking about, not only tonight.
Well, besides the Hall of Fame game,
is fantasy and gambling. So
right. Well, you do know we have inductees into the Hall of Fame. If you check them out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean it's Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Adam Vinatieri, Roger Craig, and Luke Kuechly.
Well deserved. Yeah.
Well deserved, yes. And me being a lifelong Dolphin fan, I'm not bitter that Drew Brees is making the Hall of Fame. He deserves it. Yeah. I've had him more than a few times in fantasy football. He actually won a league for me one time, and you all scoffed. You scoffed when I picked him in the first round. You were like, who picks a quarterback in the front? Drew Brees.
How about Larry Fitzgerald, University of Pittsburgh? Now, people are saying this, top 3 receiver all time. Behind Jerry Rice probably, and
Terrell Owens.
I don't know if I put him in there as 2. I mean, he's certainly a super talented guy.
Randy Moss.
I think Randy's in the discussion, probably those guys, but certainly.
Definitely Fitzgerald.
Oh, he's in the discussion.
All day, every day.
For sure. Just an amazing career. So consistent. So much high level. And again, on a team that wasn't very good, for a very long time.
I think he made 4 playoff appearances and 1 Super Bowl. He had a shot one time. And I blame your Steelers for that.
That was fast Willie Parker.
And Harrison too.
Yeah. So So but basically, I mean, it's football time and it's fantasy time.
Don't try to gloss over the fact that there's a kicker being inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame.
Is there?
Yes.
They have kickers.
Adam Vinatieri.
Oh. Patriots. Yeah, he was pretty good.
Thick. And what's he got? 5 Super Bowl rings?
Got a lot.
A kicker.
Got a lot.
With 5.
We'll talk about kickers today. Don't worry.
What's he? He's got 4 with New England and 1 with Indianapolis.
Correct.
And he's been in 6 Super Bowls.
As a kicker.
And what did he play? 21 years?
He made bank. He got rings. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's a kicker. It's a pretty good career.
He quit to spend time with his grandkids.
Nice.
He could have kept kicking. He could have kept kicking.
Yeah, he could have. But he didn't. And it didn't matter because he still goes down as one of the greatest kickers of all time. Adam Vinatieri. He's a Patriot, too, your favorite team.
Listen, I have fond memories of him in Joe Robbie Stadium and Pro Player Stadium, and even I never saw him in the Hard Rock, but I saw him miss in overtime and miss game-winning field goals. Happy Hall of Fame. Congratulations. Everybody deserves it. I'm going to gloss over Roger Craig because he's my favorite player to hate, because he personally stuck his foot in Miami's ass in the Super Bowl. And let's move on with the show.
Cool.
We're doing positional breakdowns tonight, right?
We're talking a little tight end importance. I got some
tight ends and running backs.
A little bit of running backs, but more or less just
stuff.
Some angles, some teams I want to focus on, some draft strategies, some news we can go over real quick, some big signings. One of the obviously Gibbs got his money.
Did Gibbs get? I know. Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa! Wait a minute. Jonathan Taylor got his money.
Yeah.
Did Gibbs get his money?
Looks
Did he
like
get paid?
Extension was only a matter of time.
Only a matter of time. He hasn't gotten paid yet. But guess what? We all knew what that was going to mean. That the one that goes last is the one that pays the most.
I'm looking at an update here. Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs agreed a 3-year deal, $75 million.
Breaking news.
Signed. Put it in the bank.
Put it in the bank.
Yeah, so he signed. Obviously, he's such a key piece of the offense, and he's been going, in fantasy drafts.
I have the number 1 pick. I'm taking him.
Yeah, I mean, it's now again, the Detroit Lions are going to be the team that when we get into talking a little bit more fantasy strategy and stuff like that, I think they're a great team to look at to kind of break down the different types of leagues that we're going to get into, different values for certain players, why certain players maybe did what they did last year to accumulate certain numbers. So I'm going to use the Detroit Lions as sort of like the example team.
The litmus test.
Yeah, to pivot from in a certain, certain direction.
It's a good organization.
Well, again, we'll cover it ad nauseum. Another big sort of signing.
We only got 45 minutes. We can't be ad nauseum.
Well, that's coming.
Okay.
Is the Rams. The Rams are getting richer on defense, aren't they? Oh my gosh.
Aaron Donald had a tryout with the LA Rams. You know who evaluated the tryout?
Yeah, McVay.
No,
McVay was there.
No, not even.
Oh.
Aaron Donald.
Oh, okay.
He pretty much showed up for work. He called ahead and he said, "Hey," he probably called the equipment guy because he's probably he's probably been to the guy's wedding, but he called up the equipment guy and said, "Hey, Larry, yeah, I'm going to come in and run it around. Could you pull my practice gear together?" "Sure, no problem." "All right, I'll see you about 3:30.
They are.
I mean, tell him no.
Think about this. Even if you got overall 80 to 85% Aaron Donald, okay, in terms of whatever production he could give you. Now, I'm not talking about total production. I'm just talking about on a per play basis.
Right.
Okay. Per play basis, you get 80 to 85% Aaron Donald, which on that team compared to other teams could be 100% just because of what they already have on the
115.
Well, because of what they already have on the defensive line.
Yeah.
And the thing is that if you look at, they're probably not going to be using him more than 30 plays a game anyway. So they're going to be able to maximize his effort without asking him to do anything more than just be your best when you're called upon.
All right.
And here's another thing too. He's not going to have to work as hard. He's not going to have to commit to training camp. He's not going to probably have to make every meeting. He's going to kind of come in at his pace, be very comfortable. That team's going to be very dangerous this year.
Listen, the kind of player that he is, okay, and the kind of high character guy that he is. One of the reasons he retired is because he didn't feel that he could give the commitment that he had the standard that he set for himself. And he didn't want to do less. He didn't want to take plays off. He didn't want to have a lighter workload. He either wanted to play at his level and at his pace and full time and all the time, or he didn't want to play.
Can I tell you what I think is a part of it too? I mean, that could be very well true.
Well, I mean, guys like Tom Brady are the same way.
But just him. Don't you think as hard as he played, when you played him, when you're the best at what you do, everybody has to game plan for you.
Yeah.
And he was double team, triple team, and still putting up monster numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So that's tiring. I mean, it's physically, it's demanding in the position as it is anyway.
That's why he retired. He said, I really don't think I can commit to that.
And now, again, they're changing his role because not that they already have an Aaron Donald on the other side, but pretty close. They've got a pretty good explosive edge on the other side. And they're already a top defense to begin with. And typically, if you look at how their game scripts are going to play out, which you would think based on their Vegas win total, based on the roster and who they are as the Rams, that they're going to be in a lot of positive scripts for that defense to cut loose.
To tee off.
Yeah, because you're going to have leads. And again, part of the stuff we'll talk about, you want to kind of get into game scripts and environments because they dictate outcomes.
Yeah.
And you got to know where things are going to be able to plan for what you want to happen. It's all part of it.
And on a side note, by the way, for anybody who decried the draft value or the trade value, Garrett for Jared Verse and then draft picks. Jared Verse, all the news coming out of Browns camp as far as Jared Verse is concerned, is he stepped right in and he took the Myles Garrett role. He is leading. He is helping coach up the young guys because they still got a bunch of young guys. He's only a 5-year or 4-year veteran, I think, or 3-year veteran, but he's helping coach up the young guys and showing them stuff. Rookies don't know shit when they get there. Okay, so it was a good trade for both organizations. I can tell you that much. Expect better things out of the Browns. I mean, it might only be 7-10, but it's not going to be 3 wins.
Oh, that division
horrible.
I mean, year after year, it seems like coming into the division that year.
It's a tough division.
It's a tough. But if you look at the talent across the division, I mean, Burrow's on his last leg in Cincinnati. There's grumblings and a lack
his last leg
there. And here's the thing:
they're on his last nerve.
You know that they have a top 100 rankings for players that the executives and everybody puts out,
and the players.
This is an in-house sort of
right.
thing. Last year, Lamar Jackson was 2 on that list. You know where he is this year?
He got the heave-ho.
He's like 78. It was one of the largest drops. You don't think that that's going to affect him. But again, forget it. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about the division, and that division's a little shaky. The Steelers with Aaron Rodgers, Grandpa Rodgers, and Burrow, and now you're maybe there's some nicks in the armor for the Ravens coaching change. You don't know where that's going to add. The division, I think this year could be up for grabs, honestly. I mean, because it's going to be whoever stays healthy and whoever gets through the attrition of the physical toughness of that division, which is typical. That's year after year.
Well, and that's the reason why the Titans and the Steelers went with veteran coaches, besides the fact they had quality guys available. And that's the reason why the Ravens went with a rookie head coach.
Glad you mentioned coaching, and I'm not going to stray off this whole thing I want to talk about real quick, but obviously Steelers bring in McCarthy, and he's looked upon as just a guy. Right. He's a guy. He's a coach. He's just a guy. He's a
team manager.
Well, okay. Now they I saw a graphic where they put him next to Sean Payton in terms of their career accolades.
Right.
Same division titles, same Super Bowl wins, same divisional whatever. Almost they looked like mirror images. And Peyton had Drew Brees for a long time. He had the quarterback. He had the GM. He had that triangle we talk about. Maybe not as prominent on the other side as the argument that I'm trying to present to you. So it's about perspective. I mean, granted, he had Aaron Rodgers in his prime, which is pretty good too. But when you look at labeling, do you really think there's that much of a gap between Peyton, who's considered a legend, and Mike McCarthy, who's just considered a guy? And their careers are pretty much identical. So it's interesting. It's all about perspective and what you think and what you believe.
And perspective and perception.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people perceive Mike McCarthy as, like you said, just some
Pittsburgh guy. Now he's a Pittsburgh guy, and he's this and he's that. But pretty successful coach. We'll see how things go. Do you want to get into
tight ends?
Yeah, let's talk positional stuff.
I was going to make a dirty joke about tight ends, but never mind.
We'll get there, I'm sure, at some point.
They have like a whole university of them.
In the last several years, obviously, we're doing fantasy a long time. And for a long time, the tight end, it was dreadful. I mean, outside of a couple of guys, it was Kelsey for a long time, and it was whoever else was second. There was, we talk about tiers. There was one tier, one guy, and then everybody else was scrambling down below. Again, the position, we talked about target share. If you get 6 targets a game as a tight end, that's a lot. And you really can't produce high-level stuff with 6 targets. We've seen that change over the last several years. Going back to 2018, how teams run their offense. They run what's called 2 personnel. 2 personnel is 2 tight ends.
Right.
Okay? 1 personnel, 3 personnel. Okay, number of tight ends. Well, the number of 2 personnel sets across the league has gone up dramatically. Most teams across the league right now, they're running about 25% of their game scripts are out of 2 tight ends, compared to 5-6 years ago where it was maybe like between 15 and 18%. So it's a significant jump in terms of the importance of the tight end.
True.
Now look at the business side of things. 2 years ago only, you had 10 tight ends making $10 million a year or more. Coming into this year, you have 21 tight ends that are making $10 million or more.
Well, that just speaks to the overall evolution of the position.
100%, 100%. And other factors too. The explosion of the salaries of the wide receivers over the last several years. Guys get max contracts, one guy. You can get two really good tight ends or one really good effective offensive tight end and a good other blocking tight end. Let's say you get two players for the price of one, almost get the same production. So from that perspective, the business side makes sense. Last year, $240 million was spent on signing tight ends, okay, compared to $90 million the year before. So you're looking at 3 times the level of money that was spent on the position. And again, we talk about tiers and players. Obviously, maybe Kelsey's no longer in that upper tier. You have guys like McBride, other players that are certainly, top guys. Brock Bowers, important, Colson, Loveland. Those guys, maybe there's not much separation there. But
Loveland's going to have a big breakout season.
And you can argue that and maybe be very right. But what's changed is the next level is that second tier where you have 6, 7, 8, 10 guys that are now viable parts of offenses, getting target share and are producing and are scoring. So how it relates to fantasy is, and I argue this with you and other people.
Hate tight ends.
No. I like making fantasy football difficult. Now, when I say difficult, I mean putting the work in. Changes in waiver wire.
Just because it's difficult for you doesn't mean it's got to be difficult for everybody else.
But again, when I say it's not difficult for me, the argument is that
that's my joke.
You people in general, I say you be specific, but in general, they just want to set a lineup and forget it. They really don't want to get too much vested. It's not what this is for. We look forward to this all year long. So implement slight rules adjustments, which is another show we'll cover. And again, just to make it just more competitive. You can't tell me that this hasn't happened. It happens in every league every year. You got mediocre teams that get through the year because half the teams in the league make the playoffs. So it's like hockey. You just got to survive, and you get there. Most of us, our teams look nothing like all the work that we put into during the year to make those teams what they are. So when you get to the end of the year, it's pretty much whoever gets to the waiver wire first. Whoever's the hottest player, that's not logic. That's just opportunity. Okay.
You want logic.
So again, I've got answers for that too. And we'll get into fab budgets and all this good stuff. So, and there are many leagues that do this now. The evolution of fantasy football has changed. You can either stay in the past and, play the kickers and the defenses and all sorts of things. Keep it really simple.
You just had to take a stab at kickers.
Or you can evolve and start to implement just not major things, but simple things to make it more competitively balanced. It keeps teams more interested and it makes for better leagues. There's nobody that's going to argue that other than the grumpy old guy that's get out of my yard. I don't want to make any change. I've been doing this for 30 years, whatever. And it's just like, stop. It's just stop. So if you want to make it better, make it more interesting, get commitments from guys that want to play competitive fantasy football. And that's my beef. So tight ends are good. Play tight ends because they're important this year. So full circle. Draft position is important. ADP is just a factor, something that you consider. But you really need You really need to look at usage in terms of personnel sets, like we've just talked about, 12 personnel, 2 tight ends. Find out who the receiving tight end is on that team. And then find out, in terms of packages and usage, projective targets. And then that's how you can develop and create these tiers of players. And again, I really feel that in that second tier is where you're going to get a lot of your value. Because it's going to be difficult to get McBride. Because, those guys, they're already planted at end of first round, beginning second round. Bowers on speculation, those guys are planted second, third round. But you've got that next level of guys, maybe even Loveland and others. I like Tucker Kraft.
No need to look at Loveland. Nothing to see there. Loveland's going to have a mediocre year.
I'm sure he is.
Terrible.
Guys,
blah, blah, blah.
Tucker Kraft, when he wasn't hurt last year, man, him and Love were clicking.
I made money with Tucker Kraft last year.
Kyle Pitts last year had his best.
I made money with Kyle Pitts.
He had 80-something catches, and now this year, that offense, and again, talent-wise, he's going to be a key factor.
So no. That whoa, time out. That offense, that offense in Atlanta right now has a guy that played for Missouri State or something. They have one quarterback in Atlanta right now.
Yeah, well, there. I mean,
one guy.
4 weeks. Hopefully, they get it figured out. Gives them guys.
They cut Trevor Siemian, who was the third string quarterback. Their second string guy, effectively Penix, is throwing on the side.
You got boo-boos.
And Tua Tagovailoa,
got boo-boos.
Big, huge shock. He's got a bad back.
Got boo-boo.
He's got a boo-boo.
A lot of boo-boos on that team right now.
And
in the wrong position.
Yeah, nobody. They've got Matt Ryan throwing the ball. In practice. I wish I was joking, but that is the president of football operations.
He's probably keeping him loose out there.
Few reps.
Where's Flacco right now? Is he
Joe is backing up somewhere. I forget where it is. He's backing up somewhere.
Interesting.
I think
he's on
in Cincinnati. I think he's in Cincinnati.
No, he wasn't backing up.
He's backing up in Cincinnati. I think it is.
Well, he was in Cleveland,
right?
And then he left. Got released from Cleveland
and went to Cincinnati.
Cleveland has 6 quarterbacks on their roster.
Right.
And then, did he go to the Bengals?
Yes.
Okay. I know. It's fine.
And in Cleveland, Mr. Touchy-Feely is getting smoked by Shedeur Sanders.
I know.
He's losing a competition to Shedeur Sanders, a kid who is just figuring it out.
Yeah. Interesting.
Mr. Touchy-Feely.
One of the tight ends on this list, Sam Laporta. Okay.
Love him.
Plays for the Detroit Lions.
We're back to the Lions.
Well, because again,
they're a great example.
I'm going to be using these guys as sort of, again, like we talked about, sort of that petri dish. We can mix it all up in there and all the leagues and kind of use them. So, Sam Laporta last year came in number 7 in terms of tight ends. Now, I think he's actually further down the list. This year, they've got him projected for 7. Last year, he got hurt. He missed some time.
Right.
And this is part of what we're going to discuss. I think he ended up missing from like week 11 on. Now, we know Detroit has probably a top 5 offense, pieces-wise. Okay, they've got St. Brown, they've got Laporta, they've got Gibbs, one of the best running backs. Goff's one of the best pocket passers.
They got Isaiah Pacheco as the backup quarterback as the RB2.
They've got some help. So they've got a lot because they lost Montgomery.
They got guys.
Fine, they've got guys. And they're a good offensive team. Now, why we love them so much also is because they have a bad defense and they don't have much of a better defense, at least on paper this year. I think that certainly is going to be the Achilles.
They got a lot of guys coming back from injury.
But when you look at the Lions, you look at their offense as opposed to their defense. They are probably no better than a bottom half defense, which is what you want in fantasy. Okay, so this is a plus. Check a box there. So again, we're going to be using that.
You want shootouts.
So Laporta, back to him, missed some time last year for injury. Okay. He was out, let's say, post week 11. One of the players on that team, wide receiver Jameson Williams, is a wide receiver 2 in terms of the depth chart, okay, on the Lions. Now, we know 1 is St. Brown. So line up their
invisible.
Okay, line up their pieces. St. Brown, you got Jameson, you got the running backs with Gibbs and now Pacheco, and you got Laporta, and you got Goff throwing the football. Now, Jameson Williams is a perfect example of a player that if you looked at his production going through the first 11 weeks when Laporta was in there, he was wide receiver like 72, somewhere in the low 70s. Now, once Laporta was injured, week 11 on, Jameson Williams finished as wide receiver 11. Okay, now, same guy, same team, same offense, same quarterback, everything.
Just a little more production.
Okay, why? Because opportunities change. Now, you know the hierarchy in that offense. It's St. Brown, number 1, getting most of the targets. He's a beast. He's finished as wide receiver 3, I think, the last 3 years. So he obviously, you can't be more elite consistent than that.
Target monster.
So he's 1. Okay, but
he's like 200 targets.
On a prolific offense like the Lions, you're looking for 2. The problem is that you can't really pinpoint 2 on that offense, and or at least to this point, you haven't been able to, unless there's been an injury like there was last year, where you can look and say, okay, well, 1 guy's off the page now we can only focus on him. And that's pretty clear with a guy like Jameson Williams. So Why am I using Alliance? Just let me explain the different leagues and stuff that we're getting into. We're all familiar with our standard head-to-head leagues, okay, which is pretty much you draft your team and you put your best lineup out there each week. And most guys typically were taking a Jameson Williams guy and counting on him as maybe like their wide receiver 3. And that's fair, okay? I mean, overall, wide receivers 1 go in the first couple of rounds.
Expectation.
And they come back out. Now, the problem with Jameson Williams, if you look at his line, his stat sheets, is he's a guy that week 1 gives you 3 points, week 2 gives you 4 points, week 3 gives you 30 points. Week 4 gives you 5 points. Week 6,
okay. You got to play matchups.
And then opportunity comes in. Well, it's more about opportunity and injury, but now he gets his chance. Guys hurt. He's really blowing up the last half of the season. As a fantasy manager in a week-to-week league, you can't count on that. You can't count on every third week him winning you that week.
You want consistency in production.
Yeah. So a guy like that in a head-to-head league format where it's a season-long standard, which most of us are due, I personally think that sort of guy doesn't have the same value. Now, let's talk about it differently. Let's talk about a best ball league. Best ball league is simply a league where you draft a bunch of players, more than you would in that sort of format previously. And you basically start everybody every week. It's a set it and forget it. And you just basically take the best of that week. So in that case, maybe you don't have to use Jameson in week 1 or 2. Okay, but guess what? In week 3, he's going to win you that week, because he's going to pop for that 30 points. So that value for that guy in that league is, in my opinion, dramatically higher than in the standard formatted league.
Right, and he's useful as long as you know how to play matchups.
Sometimes I wish it was that easy, and when we do that each week, we do get into the matchups, but we're right most of the time. We miss a lot too. It's hard, It's very.
You ever notice when you miss on a matchup, you end up losing?
Yeah, well,
you just do.
The most difficult part of everything that we do with the analysis is to eliminate the amount of variables that can affect the outcome. And, there are so many of them that you have no control over at all, but at least some of them on paper, you can kind of navigate through and at least paint the initial picture. Now, if your guy goes down in the first quarter, then you're shit out of luck. But that's football. But in terms of what we try and do each week is, yes, you look for the green on DraftKings we talk about, and the green is positive. That team usually gives up more to a receiver, whatever. So you are looking for that. But our goals are to eliminate variables. And again, looking at a guy like Jameson, better player, best ball, not as good as a player, as consistent in a regular kind of season format.
Right.
And again, it's now we've looked at in terms of the Lions, player timeshare, okay, which changes based on injury. So again, I'm not really confident on a guy like that. We looked at a tight end who, again, I don't like to put guys in bubbles and say he's got injuries history or he's injury prone. I don't know what that means, but he got hurt.
Injuries happen,
and he's had some. So do I know if I'm getting a full season from Laporta? I don't know. I look at the constants on a team like the Lions. I look at their defense being bottom half at best, which I like offensively. Okay, chasing points.
So you got to chase points. Yeah.
I am looking at just a couple of guys. I'm looking at St. Brown where he falls, which is going to be a late first round pick. If you're lucky, if he falls that far, which you know what, for some reason he always does. He never gets taken in the first 7 or 8 or 9 picks. He's always a back end first round guy. No different than a CeeDee Lamb. I think they're the same player pretty much.
I'd take him over CeeDee Lamb.
I think they're very close in terms of overall production.
Right. Well, that's timeshare though.
Yeah. Well, they're different in the sense that St. Brown is the one. Okay. Now there's a clear 2 in Williams. There's no real 1A. In Dallas, there is 1A.
1 and 1A.
Well, 1A is the Pickens, but they're different. They're different receivers. Pickens is a guy that he's a go route guy. He stretches the field. He uses speed. Lamb, like a Puka, line him up anywhere, catches everything, and he's elite at every metric. So, and he knows the system, and he's been with Dak for years. So, that's another guy that is just, as long as he's healthy, you just plug him in for the 100 catches and 1,400 yards and 10 touchdowns, and that's it. And so however that falls at the end of the year, based on who gets hurt and who exceeds, he's always going to be a back end first round guy. So St. Brown, no different. This team in particular, again, you have to know going in, where about these guys are being taken, and if, depending on your league, which we talked about, you're going to have to determine if you want other pieces on that team based on what you're playing. And I think that's the whole thing, is establishing your framework and then fitting those players, if they do or not, within that framework. So I think the Lions are a perfect example to use, because these are the same guys, but they're not the same guys in different leagues, in different formats, with different structures, and depending on how they're being drafted, and then of course how they fit your team. So and I think they're the perfect kind of petri dish of stuff that you can just kind of throw it all in there and spit it out and see what you get. But interesting stuff. What are you saying about that?
You just like ran the string on metaphors and adjectives right there.
I'm all about it.
Petri dish,
baby. Mix it up.
And it sounds like a salad in a petri dish. Weird. Okay, I definitely believe in that. My question to you would be, who are going to be the breakout tight ends? We know who the top 5 or 6 guys are going to be, but who's going to be the breakout tight end?
Yeah, well,
since we're going back to tight ends,
let's just go based on projection. And they have Harold Fannin at number 5. Now, well, Harold Fannin wasn't on the list last year, I can tell you.
Right.
Harold Fannin was...
Hang on 1 second. You don't follow instructions, do you? I have friends who don't follow instructions. Or hopefully that's not somebody knocking on my door that needs to speak to me. But that's the dangers of podcasting from home.
Hey, hold on. I'll be back.
You go get that.
Who is it? Come in. Who are you?
Or is that the pizza?
It's the pizza.
It's the pizza.
Holy shit, it's here.
How dare you be here early? Go grab it.
All right.
I'm
it's paid for?
Yes, it's paid for.
Okay. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks.
Cool. Hey, live.
Wow.
Live and
wow.
Right at you.
Our pizza for football.
Yeah.
Beat the end of our show.
It's like 4
Amazon. And of course, all my friends who I told be here at 7 o'clock so they could just walk through the door.
Yeah.
And of course, it's 7:38, and of course they're late.
Okay, Harold Fannin. Sorry, excuse me. Number 5 this year, based on projections.
Last live streaming show.
It's
you're gone. Oh my God!
I could tell you that their list of 1 through 10 is probably not going to come in 1 through 10. Okay, so I'm going to read the list. Just keep it very.
You don't think that these 10 tight ends are going to be the top 10 at the end of the year?
No, just because nobody has the crystal ball. Because again, things happen in the NFL. Number 1, Trey McBride. Okay, so now these predictions, like all predictions, are based upon these guys play.
But McBride is an easy number 1.
Again, yes, in that offense, and because of the opportunities.
The guy.
Now Bowers is number 2. Okay, now
also the guy.
Okay, but I'm going to give you another example here. Vegas, they're pretty smart, right? They kind of have a feel for these sorts of things.
Yes.
Like the lines and
yes,
the odds. And
yes, I will give them that.
You've been there. They got big buildings and they got lots of money. Okay. So they kind of have a feel for this. And what they feel for at least these 2 teams, Arizona having Trey McBride as number 1,
right,
and Brock Bowers as a Raider number 2, those teams are supposed to be terrible.
They are.
Now, terrible to me means losing games.
Yeah.
Means you have less points than your opponent.
Yeah.
Which means that when we talk about variables, we're creating environments with negative outcomes. But yet, we want our guys, number 1, number 2, to finish number 1, number 2, based on projections. Now, I'm not saying that these guys can't get there because they're beasts. They are elite players. McBride, elite. Brock Bowers, elite. And there's no reason why, from a player perspective and their talents alone, they can't get there. But this is not what we're discussing. We're talking about when you're having to make a choice, when you're in your draft room, and maybe it's not going to be a McBride or Bowers, but you're a little further down the line. And these guys are all clumped together. And we talked about the importance of that next tier, where these guys really, there isn't much separation. So when you get to guys like Kyle Pitts and Harold Fannin now, who's important in the list, right? Tyler Warren is supposed to be last year's breakout.
He had a really good season.
Vegas has I think the Raiders this year at 5 wins. Now, there are at least 2 players from that team that are being taken in the first 2 rounds. Okay. Is a very
Genty and Brock Bowers.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So
Brock.
We also know that we do this every single year for the last 30 years, that half of the players in the first 4 or 5 rounds do not hit their value. Okay. Whatever the reasons are, injuries, they suck, whatever, a quarterback gets hurt, 100
outs,
whatever, they do not hit value. So you're taking a guy in the first round, pick 6, you're happy on draft day, and guess what? You suck too, because that guy is going to suck for your team. 100% chance of that. Okay. It's going to happen. Now, maybe it's not pick 6, maybe it's pick 5, maybe it's pick 8, but it's going to happen. It's a fact. Okay. So these 2 guys leading this list are on the worst, potentially, at least how Vegas looks at it, 2 of the worst teams in the league.
And they're still ranked 1 and 2.
And they're still ranked 1 and 2.
Because they're the guy.
Okay. And it's tough for me to argue that. But from my perspective, maybe not these 2 individual guys, but for me, this is an example of when you are making your decisions or you're creating tiers. Sidetrack. I went through last year, top 6, 7 players, running backs in terms of total fantasy points. Top 6 or 7 players, wide receiver, total fantasy points. Do you know what the common denominator is? All of their teams had a minimum of 8 wins. Okay. So those teams are successful teams. They win games. And if they're not winning games, they're losing close games, which means they're competitive, which means they stay in a game plan, which means they're using their best players.
And listen,
and that's what you want.
It's been a philosophy with me for all 3,500 years that I've been playing fantasy football is you try to avoid players that are playing on losing teams. You try to avoid them like the plague.
It's very difficult for me to broad stroke fantasy football at this point. And to me, I'm not saying you're wrong, but it is an approach to take. It's just not an end all. It's just another factor. It's another thing for you to consider. It's going to be really hard to pass Trey McBride in the 2nd round in a super flex league or in a league you're playing tight end.
Or just a regular PPR league.
Okay, maybe him, whatever.
Every guy who averages, 9 catches a game?
So what I'm saying is
averages.
Is that, blanket statements, I'm not going to avoid Trey McBride at all costs.
No.
I'm just going to make sure that Trey McBride, for me, fits perfectly. I think that's the example I'm trying to use. Brock Bowers, same thing. Now, come a little further down, number 3, Colson Loveland. Bears, everybody's darling. Caleb Williams, all of a sudden, now is the best quarterback in the league. He's super talented. We talk about now the emergence of tight ends. We got linebackers about 6'4", 6'5" now, running down the field at 4.5 catching passes. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Basketball players.
Colson Loveland's another one. Tyler Warren's another one. All these guys can get after it. But the difference here between Colson Loveland is he's on a team that's projected to win 10 wins this year. Okay. Tyler Warren, the Colts. Again, they don't have to win 9 wins in that division, but they have last year won 8 wins. They were an 8-win team. JT was the top running back in the league.
And Danny Dimes is back.
I mean, you go down the list, all these top teams, the receivers or running backs, JT, McCaffrey, 12 wins. I'm just going to read you the wins, not even the players. 8 wins, 12 wins, 8 wins, 9 wins, 12 wins, 8 wins. Go to the receivers. 12 wins, 14 wins, 9 wins, 7 wins, 10 wins. I'm not making it up. All right. So this is what the numbers are. Again, consider it. That's all I'm saying. Consider it. I'm not saying broad stroke, Trey McBride and every other Arizona player. I'm not saying broad stroke, Brock Bowers and Genty and every other Raider. I'm just saying that if you're taking guys on shitty teams, and Vegas is telling you who the shitty teams are, okay?
Make sure they're a numero uno.
There are some surprises, but there are some shitty teams. Avoid the shitty teams if you can, unless it fits perfectly. It's got to fit for your team. So I think that's very important. That's just another thing to consider when you're building your tiers.
Okay. Well, there's our 45 mark. We're going to try to hit that mark every time, and at least that's when we're recording.
Yeah, or we go to it. The last 15 minutes normally would be picks, but we got nothing to pick besides our
nothing
notes.
to pick right now.
Yeah, so although I like the Cardinals tonight by 6.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. The line
That's how you can tell if you have a gambling problem.
Who cares?
Gamble on preseason.
Are they even playing this? Is this a home game? Like, are they playing it in Sundell?
No, it's in Canton,
Ohio. I'm sorry. Can't. Oh, you're right.
Sorry,
I got distracted.
You've been threatening to go to the Hall of Fame game for the last 4 years.
Should have been here this weekend. The current line is Carolina's favorite by 1.5, and the over/under is 34.5. So, yeah, I don't even say them. Actually, like. Well, what do we do?
What are your metrics? What do you,
give me Carolina.
Whatever. We're gonna have fun. I'm gonna eat a chicken and broccoli stromboli, and I'm gonna watch football.
I'm taking the over.
It's America.
Over the lock.
Yes. Happy football day.
Yes.
Happy Hall of Fame game. Get off the internet and go watch the game. We will too. Thanks a lot for watching.
Otani's a commie.
Yes, he sure is.
Dodgers suck, by the way.
That's just this month.
They regular season suck.
They are, and they're still 6 games up.
Since July 1st, they are,
and they're still 6 games.
4 games under 500.
And they're still 6 games up the way.
And they went and they signed, and people are saying, "Oh, Tarek Skubal and everything. Oh, the Dodgers." They signed him out of necessity. It wasn't like the rich getting richer. Stinks. Their hitting right now stinks. The Dodgers right now. Mookie Betts is terrible. 2nd year in a row, terrible. Okay, they paid him. He got 6 more years on that contract. He got $500 million to pay. He sunks.
We had to mention baseball.
And Smith is the catcher. He's been hurt. He's coming back, so he hasn't been a factor. Freeman has been average. Otani's still hitting home runs, but he's dual player, so he's a pitcher half the time. Who cares? Commie, cheater, bastard. And are we still recording? And it's just, and F. Dave Roberts too, that little bastard.
Oh, you're breaking up. You're breaking up. You're disappearing. You're breaking up. Oh no, earthquake.
It's just that team. If you look at that team, and their bullpen is terrible. They can't get anybody out.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's say goodbye to the nice people so that we can go and be in place for football, because the game is going to start in 12 minutes.
All right. Bye.
See you
later.
Thanks a lot for watching our final live stream for a while. I don't think we're really going to do live stream anymore because we're moving on to the podcast format. Once again, thank you, Mark Zuckerberg, and your pedantic little algorithms that don't like people making jokes. What? See, now you're messing yourself up. You're disappearing.
Hey.
I'm telling you, it's Charlie Brown. He's going to get you. But make sure you check us out on Facebook. Of course, Facebook, the Facebook group. Go ahead and join. Make sure you check us out on YouTube. Like and subscribe. I'm sure the button is down there somewhere. And of course, we are on Twitch. Go check us out on Twitch for those of you gamers out there. My Twitch, it's Gonzo_radio. And get with the program, because the program is going to be expanding. So we will see you next week. On behalf of myself and the Maz, have yourself a happy Hall of Fame football Thursday.
Peace out.
Peace.